Okay, hi guys. Today I wanted to show you my in progress deck mod. So around 2 weeks ago I got this beauty on a second-hand market place. So this is, I believe, the first edition of the Antique Anatomy by Claire Goodchild, and it's pretty much the same. It just doesn't have the pretty box with flowers and so on. But this box is pretty as well, and it's super sturdy actually. Like, you see, this doesn't move at all. And this is a 2019, I think, edition. And also the book is exactly the same as the Antique Anatomy. So I bought this deck for around $7. Somebody was selling it used, but I thought that, well, first of all, the price was pretty great, but I also wanted this deck mostly for the guidebook, because this guidebook is pretty amazing. It's very concise, but you have a lot of information here. So you have numerological associations, you have companion cards, you have astrological associations, the elements, and the colors that she used for the flowers. And yeah, for the major arcana you have a little bit more information, and here you have the keywords, astrological correspondence, the element, and the companion card. For the minor arcana you have a little bit less, but what is great in this book is that something that I'm struggling with still is how to read the cards. And yeah, here she puts it as a person, which I normally never do, but she also puts a meaning as a situation, which is so great, and it will be so helpful for me to just have it written and not have to kind of translate because yeah, I know that you can read the court cards as the traits of characters that you should use in the situation, or kind of find in yourself to deal with the situation, but just having it written as it is, it's really it's great. So because this edition is the one with this horrible cardstock, the cards are pretty flimsy. Well, I'm not very picky about the cardstock, but even for me it's a bit fragile, and it was a bit used, so it is even more dingy than it's supposed to be, because this is the part of original design. But for now, let's talk about this mod, because I decided to write on the cards. And yeah, I will show you a few cards right now, how it came out. And then I will just show you how I did it and what materials I used and so on. So after writing the keywords on the cards became a little bit more chaotic than, like, here are the ones that are without still. But I think that it still works for me, and also it will be much more usable. I won't need to always like check in the book the meanings. Although I do want to read the book, because, you know, there are the a bit longer card descriptions, but I put not only the keywords that were on the bottom of the card descriptions, but I also put the astrological associations. So, okay, let me show you here. So here you have Venus and the element, because, yeah, as I mentioned, she also has the elemental associations for each of the cards, also the majors, which I had no idea they even have elemental associations, but here we go. I just learned that they do. So I decided to also put it here. And I also put the keywords that she put here, showing like what kind of influence this planet or zodiac sign has on this card. So for example, the Venus is beauty and pleasure, so this is what I put here. So all those astrological associations I put on the top of the card horizontally, and all the keywords, just to make it like differentiate between those two kinds of informations. The keywords for this particular card I put sideways, because it's just easier. You have a bit more space vertically on those cards, so it was just easier for me to put it this way instead of writing like this. This is the astrological one. I just didn't have enough time here, enough place, sorry, here. So yeah, so I like that that you know that this is astrological and this is for the card right away. Yeah, so I will do the whole walkthrough maybe at the end, and now I will show you maybe one more deck mod that I did that was a little bit similar. If you've seen my standout 2023 decks video, you probably saw this one already. But this deck, this is the Loputyn Oracle. This deck didn't have any keywords at all. It only had the numbers here. And for me, that was not enough to work with it. Like, I had to rely, well, I will still read the description in the booklet, but I thought it will be much easier to just have the title of the card, which is also actually in this deck, the titles are also keywords, so you can just figure out the meaning of the card this way. So this one I worked with a little with a bit different writing tool. Also here you only have like 2 to 3 words. Here you have a little bit more, but sorry, nudity alert. A bit late, but so here, you know, like the backgrounds are, most of the backgrounds are pretty dark, so I didn't have a problem with finding the place where to put it, especially that most of them are just like one word. So I was pretty happy with this deck mod. Sorry, I think the storm is coming. Great. I do hope I won't have to put on the lights, because my camera doesn't do great with the artificial lights. Yeah, so here, because I needed a lighter pen for this one, I used the Uniball Signo. This is a pigment ink in white. This is it is not waterproof, so probably with time it will just like scratch away, and you know, but it worked pretty well. and so far it doesn't go off. So in case it will just disappear, I can always redo it or something. So yeah, this is what I would recommend. There is also like two other white pens that I can recommend. This is Jelly Roll by Sakura. But this one I think was a bit thicker, and this is why I didn't use this one. But it's also very nice for covering a darker, like for writing on a darker backgrounds. It's pretty opaque. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And then there is a third one, but this one I only have very thick. But I know that there are some. This is an acrylic pen. And I know that they also have a bit thinner ones. So this one is like 1.8, 2.5 millimeters. So this would be a bit too much for those cards. But yeah, if you have any of those acrylic pens, not necessary. This is also Uni Posca. That's the, and this is probably much more durable than just this one. But yeah, this one, it was too thick, so I was just using the stuff that I have. So yeah, anyways, this was my first writing on cards mod that I've done. And this is why I was like, oh, let's try to do some more keyword mods. Okay, so for those cards, I have to, just a little disclaimer, this is not a perfect tool to do it, because those cards are still slightly, like they are coated with something. And because of that, the ink doesn't really want to stick to it. So you have to actually use, like always have quite a lot of ink on your pen. So it's sticking a bit better. But it tends to kind of like, especially in some of the places that are not, like, because some of those cards would be destroyed a bit, like from use and so on, and yeah, in some places they're a bit more sleek. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. So I decided to use the dip pen because it kind of like, I don't know, I had this idea that, well, it's like antique anatomy and you have those Victorian illustrations and so on, so I should use the pen like that. Also, with this kind of pen, you can use just a regular Indian ink, and this is important because Indian ink is waterproof. Okay, I have to switch on the lights, sorry. Those cards are not super shiny, so I hope this will work better, because I'm sorry, but the weather just, it was all sunny all morning, and now it's just black clouds outside. Okay, so why it's important that this is Indian ink and not other one, because this one is waterproof. So once it dries, there's no risk that, I don't know, you will have like a bit moist hands and it will smear. This one won't. And this, the Indian ink, you can buy at pretty much any craft store or paper store or whatever. And this one is pretty cheap, usually. But I didn't want to use this one for this project because I only have it in black. So instead, I used this is a special ink that is also waterproof, but you can use it also in the fountain pens. So those are usually more expensive. They're around $20 a bottle. But I wanted, yeah, I know that it looks like black, but it's not. I will show you some other cards. It's just dark brown. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so when it starts to run out, like when you don't have enough on your pen, then you can really see that this is brown. And yeah, and I thought that black would be just a bit too much for these pictures. I would prefer even lighter, but well, this is what it is. So if you would like to do it with the fountain pen, then please do not use this one because you will destroy your pen. Those are too thick and they will clog the fountain pen. So there are two, well, I know of two brands that are making this kind of ink. So check if you are going to use the fountain pen. Check if this is for fountain pens, and yeah, and then check if it's waterproof. The other brand, this is, did I say that? De Atramentis, this is a German company, and this is another German company that is called Rohrer and Klinger. And this one is like a bit more kind of burgundy, very dark purple, but I prefer brown on those cards. So this one is also waterproof and suitable for fountain pens. But yeah, with the dip pens you can use any kind of ink. And those are usually also much less expensive than the fountain pens. So yeah, if you would like to, if you don't have any at home and you want to try something like that, then I would just recommend you to start with this one. Although it's much more messy than the fountain pen, so just be careful. Okay, so how I actually do it. So I don't know if this is not only in my head, but I think that if you first clean the cards with alcohol, so I do it with just like a cotton pad, and this is a disinfectant alcohol, which is like stronger than vodka, but, which is important because, you know, don't use anything that is less 40% of alcohol, because this will evaporate much quicker. So I just sprayed some here, or you can just dip it in alcohol, and then I just very quickly clean the parts where I want to write on, just to remove any kind of like, oh, I put too much of this alcohol. But yeah, but alcohol dries pretty quickly. It just evaporates and it shouldn't damage the cards. At least that did. So I would, what I was doing, I was like cleaning like 5 of the cards at the time, and then I was writing on them, and then the next part. So I'm not rubbing the middle because I won't be writing on this one, but I need this part for the astrological associations, and then I need the sides for the keywords. The other thing that you should remember is that the inks need to dry pretty well. So I would just reserve the space on a table or something like that and just leave them for at least like 3-4 hours, so they don't smear, they don't stuck together when you put them away. So this is why I did it in chunks. First I did like all the major arcana, and then after I did like each suit in one go. Okay, so we have 5 cards that are clean, or at least I think they are cleaner because I don't know if this is probably just the paint, but yeah, in my head they are so much cleaner and the ink should stick so much better. Okay, so now for the writing. Here we have the coins. So on the aces I only write the keywords. I don't write the astrological associations as they don't really have any. So let me just put it. I need a stone. Okay, this is a bit overdoing, but that's fine. So you just open your ink. It's preferably, if you have just a small bottle, it's good. If you have a big bottle like that, I would rather just pour it in some smaller container, but I don't have any at hand right now, so I will just dip it in a big one. Yeah, I'm just trying to be sure if there are no fibers, because this can mess up your writing. So then you dip it until this hole is covered, and then I usually just do this as well because too much ink is also not good. So, and okay, so we have raw material energy, and don't hurry, don't rush when you're doing it, because the slower you do it, the easier it is to get a nice result. So here it writes pretty well, but I will show you on some other cards or in some other places. Material. I think I will just write it on here. Also, don't forget to dip it. I usually do it like every second, or sometimes if the word is longer, every word. Yeah, okay, so if you look at that, you can already see that the ink is kind of like contracting. So this is because there was not enough ink on the pen, and they just like to, the ink likes to stick together, so it's kind of like pulling itself in. Positivity. See. Okay. And I think I have to go here already. Abundance. Good health. Okay, so this is one of those super sleek surfaces. Good. So this is a bit more difficult to write on this one. I had to get some more ink. Good. And then I will try to fit the other one, because the aces and the court cards, I like to leave some space on the top so they're kind of separate from the rest. Money and luck. Okay, so now we put it away to dry. And the next one. I think I will speed up the whole thing, but yeah, in case I just wanted to show you how sometimes it's just like oh yeah, this one has the astrological associations, so I put them on top. Ooh, Capricorn, I don't like to write this one. Okay, so that's something like that. And this is the first decan. And the keyword is determination. One thing, just remember to wash your hands before you do it, because if you have some kind of lotion on your hands, then, well, you will remove the oil with this one, and then you will put it again with your hands. So it's kind of counterproductive. Okay, then we have harmony. Sorry. Balance. Okay, mentioned. And frustration. Okay, so good. Okay. So here we have the Mars. Capricorn. And this is the Decan. And determination. Okay, also be careful to not put your hand on this one, or anything else that you just wrote, because at this stage, if you make a mistake, for example, you can just take a slightly wet piece of paper and just remove it. So until it dries, you can remove it. So if you make a mistake, don't worry. You can just take it away and just write from the start. So that's a cool thing about the inks. Although then they dry for a few hours, especially if you have like a lot of ink, like here, for example, if you can see, like this is like really, really a lot, and it will probably I will probably be able to just feel it with my finger when it dries, so it will be kind of 3D, but yeah, that's fine. And this will be an additional sensual experience with this deck. Okay, so I have this, and then we have this section. Okay, collaboration. External recognition. Is that okay? I think external recognition is more of a 6 of Wands. Project. Oops, missed that E. Okay, I think I will just pause the video right now, and I will show you when they are done, so I don't bore you to death. One thing that I forgot to tell you is that I usually do it every 5 cards, like, you know, like I would clean the 5 cards, write on them, and then after that I close this one so it doesn't dry out, and I clean the pen, because any kind of ink, like especially the Indian ink, has a tendency to just dry out on a pen. I forgot how it's called, god damn it. Yeah, the head. Yeah, and one, you know, and then it gets kind of like sticky. So the fresh ink that you take from the bottle doesn't really want to cool down, to like pour down. The flow is kind of like clogged, and also it gets those like kind of almost like balls of ink, and yeah, it's just makes writing very unpleasant. So just remember to always clean every, like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Just wipe it off with some water, and you'll be fine. Yeah, as I said, it is a messy business. But that's fine. I can just wash it off. Okay, so see you when I'm done with the rest of the cards. Okay guys, so we're back, and I just wanted to do a quick walk through how it looks like after the whole mod, and I have to say that I'm quite happy with it. Like, I mean, it's not like super pretty, but well, it will help me to read with it for sure. I also wanted to mention that there is another video with the mod of this deck done by Don Michelle, and I will link it below, because what she did with it is just absolutely stunning. It's just so beautiful. But yeah, I decided to just do the keywords, because for me this will be more useful, and her mod is more of a like work of art than actually, you know, like, so it's an art project for sure. This is just useful. So here we have the Fool, the Magician, High Priestess. You probably have seen this one, so I just want to show how it can look with the keywords. And they are not perfect, as you can see, like here. And sometimes you will get a blob like that, but that's fine for me. At least, you know, I know that this is my deck now. Especially that I bought this one second hand, so it was quite important for me. So now just the edges. I think that I will go with the edges. I would like to go a little bit darker than what they are, so kind of like to match the cards, but we'll see. And the funny thing is that sometimes I would get those like splotches, or you know, or the places where it was like super difficult to write because it was so slippery for the ink. And usually those words would be kind of like here, for example, you have willpower, and then you have this blob here, or ambition, which is kind of, you know. So this also, yeah, I think that I could use it also in the readings. Yeah, so this inner guidance is kind of like not very clear. which is just perfect for this keyword. And here it's smeared a bit, but I didn't notice it. I think I put it on a table and then I smeared it with another card or something, and well, it just stayed like that. That's fine. Yeah, they are a bit chaotic. Like there's a lot going on, not only on the picture but also like around it. And I regret a tiny bit that I didn't choose something lighter for the ink. And the last major. So yeah, the aces, as I said, that I I just tried to keep the keywords on the bottom, so they are a bit different than the 2 to 10 cards. And yeah, here it was really difficult to write. Like I had to like kind of scratch it, and yeah, it made blobs anyway, so. Negativity, very negative place to put it, so it's just it was a fun project to do. And not only, you know, like it will help me to read in the future, but I also went through pretty much the whole book with the keywords, so hopefully I will remember some of them at least. That's a good way to familiarize yourself with the deck. Yeah, and the court cards have also, like, I tried at least to leave some space on the top. They're really pretty, those. Calming tonic. It's a really a very clever deck, I think. And the funny thing is that usually when I buy the deck, then I cleanse it and everything, and almost the very same day or the next day I would do the deck interview. But with this one I still didn't do the interview. So I think I will do it tonight. It's kind of like I felt like something is missing in the cards, so I had to first like finish the process. And there is a Polish edition of this deck as well, and I was thinking about buying it because the Polish one, I think it's called something like Victorian Anatomy Tarot, and this is the edition with the flowers and parchment box. But it was like twice as expensive as this one, and I as much as I love the artwork, I didn't know if I will be able to connect with this one. So yeah, we will still see about that, because I didn't read with this one yet, so that will be my first time. But for sure, like right now with all the keywords, it's not so, how to say that, not embarrassing. I'm looking for the word. I'm sorry, I forgot. Like when you're kind of like afraid of something because you just don't know what to expect. Intimidating, okay. Sorry. It came finally. Yeah, so it's much less intimidating when it has the, and well, I mean, I bought this deck because of the guidebook and the way it explains how to read peep decks. So I still do want to learn to read peep decks without the keywords, but it will be a good learning tool. That's for sure. And then the pentacles. Oh, that's the ace, okay. Yeah, I'm very curious also because, you know, the author put those astrological associations for the minors, for the suits. And I'm very curious how, if I will be able to kind of like include the astrology into the main meaning of the card. Because, well, if you're thinking about the 5 of coins or pentacles, you don't really think about it as being a sensual card. But yeah, this is the keyword that she put there. And well, for all the Taurus cards, so there are like 3 Taurus cards. That's the other one. I think it will be a great deck actually to, if I ever, because I started The They Can Walk by Marlene Teresa a year ago. It was also like around this time of the year. And I managed to do like, I think almost 3 months. But then I just quit and I never picked it up again. But if at some point I will decide to do it again, I will also like link her. She probably has a playlist with all the decans. So if I ever decide to do it again, this will be just perfect, because those are the decans. And then, you know, if I will be reading about, you know, how the moon in Taurus looks like, then I just have it here. So those cards are not like super shiny, but I had to put the light on because the sun is down already, and I wanted to finish it today. Yep, I'm happy with the results. By the way, if you ever did similar mod, like putting the keywords on the cards, please write it in the comments, because I'm super curious, like which decks did you use for that, and did you put just one keyword, for example, or more? I just put all of them. So I'm very curious. And also, if you plan to do it, also let me know, because I'm super curious. And if you have any questions about, you know, like inks and stuff like that, also you can ask me in the comments, and I will answer as soon as I can. That's it. That will be my mod. And next week Thursday, I will be traveling, and I'm not sure if I will manage to film something before that for the next week. So there might be like 1 week break, but I will try to do it, to film it before, so I can still put it like around the end of the next week. So, well, thank you for watching, and see you next time, whenever it will be. Bye!